distinctive October aroma. Last season, the defense of the title fell short. Yes, the Yankees made it to the postseason, again playing important baseball in the rarefied air of the fall. The Yankees were 2 wins away from another World Series appearance. But in the Bronx, falling short leaves feelings of disappointment and a season unfulfilled. So today, the journey begins anew. The Bombers try to reclaim what they feel is rightfully theirs. There are no trophies for near misses, no parades for second place. And the retooled, re-energized Yankees feel they have more than enough to win their 28th title. A team filled with a glittering array of stars, some Hall of Fame bound, others posing in on that level. Some have individual redemption in their crosshairs, looking to atone for a season not up to standards. They all stand united in one purpose, one goal: to bring the Fall Classic back to the home office of baseball, the Cathedral in the Bronx. The long road to October begins today on a brisk March afternoon in New York City. Yankees, Tigers, next on Yes.
Spring training is over, and we are ready for opening day. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Detroit Tigers against the New York Yankees in the season's first game from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. We will be your partners through this regular season, and we hope that you're with us the entire way as well. Opening day always features the 2 teams' best pitchers, but it's very rare when you get 2 of the best pitchers in baseball. That's what we have today. So to start off, let's take a look at the pitching matchup for this one. Justin Verlander is going to go for the Tigers, 18-9, 3.37 last year. CC Sabathia in the Cy Young Award hunt last year, 21-7, 3.18, 2 of the best, Kenny.
When you look at the resume of these pitchers from the last few seasons, you can see why their teams look to them to get the job done. Justin Verlander, CC Sabathia, innings. Number 1 for CC. He is a workhorse. The same can be said for Justin Verlander. These are the type of pitchers that teams look to keep the winning streaks going and to stop the losing streaks during the course of a long season.
Standing behind CC Sabathia today will be the Yankee shortstop and captain, Derek Jeter, his 15th opening day. This year, the first couple of months are going to be very interesting. A countdown to 3,000. Take us to the break, Derek.
Hi, I'm Derek Jeter, and I'm coming up next.
Away from the beginning of the 2011 season. It's opening day here at Yankee Stadium. And a prevailing theme over the first couple of months of the season will be Derek Jeter's pursuit of 3,000 hits. He's 74 away, and when he gets to 3,000, those are the names directly in front of him. He will be the first Yankee ever to achieve that number in a Yankee uniform. Well, we're about done with the pomp and circumstance of opening day. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, next on Yes. You in part by the Lincoln Spring Forward event. All this luxury, all this confidence. By NYSERDA, energy, innovation, solutions. And by Avis, the official rental car of the New York Yankees. Well, moments ago, in front of a sold-out Yankee Stadium, Mike Messina, who won the Pride of the Yankees award last night at the Yankees Welcome Home Dinner, retired for now, entering the third season of inactivity. He fires it up to his old buddy Jorge Posada. So that is the official first pitch here at Yankee Stadium to start off the 2011 season. So Messina sporting a little gray goatee. He is ready to roll. And so the Yankees, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. And right now, it's pretty nice here at the stadium. A little chilly, obviously, 43 degrees, 66% humidity. Not much wind. Forecast is for possible showers. But right now, hey, this is what the beginning of baseball season is about. There's a little brisk chill in the air. People are here, and they're still filing into the stadium, and they are excited about this 2011 Yankee season. Kenny, you played in plenty of opening days during your illustrious career, and this is a special day for any player.
Well, after spring training, all that work you did in the spring, trying to get things done, prepare for this day, all the drills, all the extra batting practice, all the work in the cage for the pitchers working on the side, now it becomes for real. This is what all that work is about. To prepare for this day, it's time to get started.
And this day is a little bit different than, let's say, the game on Saturday or Sunday. There's butterflies involved with this one.
Well, you have the two best pitchers going on each team. I mean, two of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball pitching today. CC Sabathia going for the Yankees, a 21-game winner a year ago, and Justin Verlander gets a start for the Detroit Tigers. He won 18 a year ago. This might be the best matchup in baseball today.
And you know what, Kenny? This is a quality matchup as well. These are two teams that have postseason aspirations. The Tigers made some additions, big-time additions to their club. The Yankees also tweaked some things from last year as well. And both teams are expecting to be in the postseason come October. So we're ready as the New York Yankees take the field. Let's take a look now at the New York Yankees lineup, or the New York Yankees are going to face the Tigers lineup that's put together by Jim Leyland, the Tiger manager. And here we go. Austin Jackson, former Yankee farmhand, in his second year, the center fielder leads off. Will Rhynes at second base will bat second. Maglio Ordonez in right field hits third. Cleaning up and playing first base, Miguel Cabrera. Victor Martinez signed as a free agent. He's a DH here with the Tigers. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Ryan Rayburn. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base, Brandon Inge. And Alex Avila, the catcher, will bat ninth.
And you're looking at CC Sabathia, who's taken to the hill for the Yankees on this opening day 2011. CC in his career is 15-11 against the Detroit Tigers. And those are his numbers from a year ago. 34 starts, 21-7, top winner in the American League, 3.18 ERA. You can see less than a hit per inning. The walks and strikeouts, opponents hit just 239. And as I said, he led the American League in win. Let's check out the scouting report on CC Sabathia to get things started on this regular season. Since 2006, CC leads the major leagues in strikeouts. And since his debut back in 2001, 157 career wins. That's the most in baseball. And everybody talks about CeCe's fastball, his good breaking ball. But I think the pitch that has really made him into a big-time winner is his excellent changeup. Keeps the right-handed hitters in particular off balance.
Let's see the defense that's going to be behind him. The Yankee defense is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. The infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. And the newest Yankee, Russell Martin, is behind the plate with Karsten Charles Sabathia on the mound. Well, CeCe is finished with his warm-ups. Yankees decked out in their home white pinstripes to start their home season. And digging in is Austin Jackson. So Jackson's ready. Sabathia is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch of the season is a strike, and we are underway.
Just enough chill in the air that CeCe Sabathia might take him a while to get a feel for that changeup. We'll see what happens early in the game here.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. CeCe has never been a great starter on opening day. In 7 career opening day starts, a 5.79 ERA, and Verlander has also struggled in this assignment. And the 0-2. Upstairs, IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
I waited all winter to hear you say incredible.
The 1-2. Pitch outside. Sabathia with the Yankees, 40-15 with a 3.27 ERA in 2 years in pinstripes. He's done everything that they could have possibly asked after signing him to a free agent deal. And now the count is full.
After going 0-2, he falls behind no balls and make it a 3-2 count now. He's facing Jackson, who struck out quite a bit last year as a rookie for the Tigers.
And the 3-2 fouled away. Sabathia has enjoyed pitching here at Yankee Stadium. Since becoming a Yankee, 18-4 with a 3.04 ERA. Lifetime against the Tigers, 15-11, 4.57. He used to see them a lot. He started his career with the Cleveland Indians. Swing and a miss. Jackson down on strikes. And Jackson led the American League in strikeouts last year with 170, so picking up where he left off.
Well, CeCe was consistently around 90 with the fastball, maybe a little bit more on this last one. Reach back for a little extra and puts Jackson away, striking out the first hitter that he faces in the 2011 season.
Here's Will Rhymes, won the second base job during spring training. Beat out Scott Sizemore. That's what he did last year. Veteran manager Jim Leland of the Tigers says that Will Rhymes is about 5 feet tall, but he does everything that you want him to do.
Well, Will Rhymes is a product of the Tigers farm system. And Jim Leland also said you should reward players in your farm system. And he's done hit at every level. And he hits well against left-handers. That's why he's batting in the second spot. Now, he played briefly with the Tigers last year, and he had a little over 30 at-bats against left-handed pitching, and he hit 370 against lefties.
The 1-1. Lined into center field. Curtis Granderson dives and makes the play.
Well, one thing you might look for this year from Curtis Granderson in center field, he might be playing a little bit more shallow than usual. And it pays off in this particular catch of a line drive, a sinking line drive, the headlong dive. And another thing, it wasn't a guarantee that Granderson would be playing today because of that strained oblique muscle in spring training. But he's in the lineup, and it appears he's okay after making that diving catch.
Now that's certainly going to test that injury right there. So the Yankees felt confident, and they put him on the 25-man roster, and he is in, as you can see, the opening day lineup. Here's Maglio Ordonez, and the pitch is outside, 1-0. Ordonez last year, 12 and 59 home runs and ribbies. Pitch outside.
Now, if you look at Granderson in the outfield right now, to me, he looks like he's playing more shallow than he did last year, under the prompting of Lee Mazzilli, who worked with both Granderson and Melky Mesa, the young outfielder in the Yankee system, on playing a little bit closer.
Fouled the other way.
And the reason being, on base hits with a runner on first, you can stop the runner at second. You can make plays in front of you like he just did. And a lot of times the ball goes over your head and it's hit well. It's the pitcher's fault. It's not your fault anyway.
The 2-1. Lined into center field. Granderson gets another try, this time backing up, runs it down, and Sabathia works a 1-2-3 top of the first. Tigers nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Starting lineup presented by Lexus, and we thought that you'd let the guys introduce themselves.
Brett Gardner, number 11. Derek Jeter, number 2.
Mark Teixeira, number 25.
Alex Rodriguez, number 13.
Roddy Cano, 24.
Nick Swisher, number 33.
Jorge Posada, number 20.
Curtis Granderson, number 14.
Russell Martin, number 55.
Thank you, guys. So I think they have to join after now as they introduce themselves. And they're going to face this guy who's pretty good, Justin Verlander.
He certainly is. 33 starts a year ago, 18-9, a good ERA, 3.37. You can see the strikeouts, 219 and 224 in the third innings. And a 2010 All-Star. Let's check out the scouting report. The leading man. This will be his 4th straight opening day assignment for the Detroit Tigers. 2009, he led the major leagues in strikeouts, and his fastball has reached 100 miles per hour.
Here's Brett Gardner, and the first pitch is a strike. So Gardner will be leading off, at least at the start of the season, against righties. Last year, he led off 25 times for the Yanks. And the 0-1.
Now, a lot of those days he did lead off last year were days that Derek Jeter did not play. But this year Derek Jeter's batting in the second spot, and I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, Gardner led the Yankees in on-base percentage last year. He takes a lot of pitches, goes deep into counts, and that wears out the pitcher before the big guys come to the plate. So I think Joe Girardi is going to take advantage of the fact that Gardner can steal bases, one of the best in the league, and that's why he's in the leadoff spot.
And against left-handers, they'll probably do it like they did it last year with Gardner batting ninth and Jeter back up top. Swing and a miss. Verlander is a tough pitcher. The Yankees know it. Against the Yankees, lifetime 4-3 with a 3.83 ERA.
Got a great breaking ball. His fastball, I said, can reach 100, but he also has a lot of movement on it as well. Tough to square it up. You saw it right there. That ball tailing back over the plate. 96.
Now, he has always gotten off to a poor spring and a poor start, but in previous springs, 5-8, 4.85, dedicated himself to having a good spring training this year, 3-0, 0.96. He lit it up, and he actually approached each start as if it was a big league regular season start. The 2-2, swing and a miss, 97 miles an hour as Gardner down on strikes. Well, the Tiger defense didn't really have to take part in that, but let's take a look at them as they brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Rayburn, Jackson, and Ordonez left to right in the outfield. You've got Inge, Peralta, Rhymes, and Cabrera third to first. Avila behind the plate. Verlander is on the mound. Crowd gives the Yankee captain, Derek Jeter, a warm hand.
And Michael, when they talked to Derek about batting second, he said it doesn't really make much of a difference. Says his numbers from last year. The 270 was down. The run scored about where you want him to be.
It is a quest for 3,000. He starts the season 74 hits away. This is his 15th opening day start, and that ties Yankees Hall of Fame catcher Bill Dickey for the second most in Yankee history. First, Mickey Mantle had 18 opening day starts. Good breaking ball for a strike.
That was nasty. Verlander gets into a rhythm. He starts to work pretty quickly. He and the catcher, Avila, will get into a nice rhythm. It's up to the Yankee hitters to step out of the box and slow him down.
The 0-2 outside. Now Derek handled the move to second, as Kenny said, in the lineup with his usual deadpan style. He said, really, it's the same as it was every other bat than the first inning last year. Gardner batted ninth, I batted first, so I usually batted behind him. The 1-2 punched out right side, and it's caught there by Will Rhymes for the second out.
Now, during his career, Derek is a .313 hitter leading off, and he's at .314 batting second. So not much of a difference in the batting average.
Now here's Mark Teixeira. We talked about how CC and Verlander have gotten off to poor starts, and Mark Teixeira, that has been a problem for him as well. And he put up a batting cage at his home and hit early in the winter, changed his whole routine, and is looking to get off to a better start because usually he digs himself such a significant hole that he spends the rest of the year climbing out of it. Last April he hit 136. In his career, in the months of March and April, he averages 233, and from May to October, 235, I'm sorry, and May to October, 294.
One of these years he's going to get off and just have that MVP type season.
No, it's incredible. Everybody accepts that Teixeira didn't have a great year last year. 33 homers, 108 runs batted in, scoring 113 runs, and he would admit the average is not where he wants it at 256. But I told you about the big hole he had to climb out of. Two and two.
Verlander followed up an 84-mile-per-hour changeup with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and picks up 2 strikes. And we talked about the movement on his fastball. You can see it tailing back towards the middle of the plate. A lot of times you want to stay out of the middle, but when it's 96 with movement, it's tough. There's another one. And he is working quickly. The only thing that slowed him down so far has been the foul balls.
Teixeira, through his first 28 games last year, had just 2 home runs. So after that, he picked up 31, finishing with 33. Here's the 2-2. 97 on opening day, March 31st. That's not easy. 2 of the top 4 in the AL last year in this game today. Cabrera had 38, Mark Teixeira 33. Jose Bautista led with 54. Misses outside just barely, and Teixeira works a walk. So the first base runner of the season for the Yankees, and that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. Alex comes into the season with 613 home runs. And he also comes into the season, Kenny, coming off one of the best spring trainings he's ever had.
We did the first game, spring training game, and I believe he had a double A couple of doubles in that game, at least the one double. First time up, he hit a rocket. And that just continued throughout spring training.
Came into camp a little bit lighter, much more flexible. The hip now is a thing of the past. His doctor, Dr. Mark Philippon, who performed the surgery, gave him the all systems go in the winter, and Alex just trained. He didn't have to worry about rehabbing. That one gets away from Avila, and that'll move Teixeira into scoring position.
Now, one thing about Verlander, he has such good stuff and such a hard breaking ball. When it's in the dirt, it really puts pressure on the catchers to keep the ball in front. Now, you can see the ball breaks off the chest protector off towards the Tiger dugout, and the Yankees have the first runner in scoring position as Mark Teixeira will move down to second base on the wild pitch.
Wind is blowing in from left field, so you really have to hit it a ton to get it out, especially that way. Verlander about to throw his 20th pitch. And he's going to call out Avila. And that's always one of the negatives, Kenny, with a high strikeout pitcher. Because you're not going to have that one pitch at bat. You're going to have to throw at least 3 pitches to strike somebody out. Your pitch count gets up there quickly.
You know how that works against a pitcher? Because you're right. He's a high strikeout pitcher, but he gets a lot of swings and misses. So you have to throw another pitch unless it's a third strike. Instead of making weak contact and either ground ball is short or a pop-up or a fly ball somewhere.
See, after a Teixeira walk, Alex Rodriguez has taken advantage. .391 batting average. And I think a lot of that had to do last year with the fact that, let's say Teixeira walked, you didn't want to pitch to Cano.
Yeah.
Cano really provided Rodriguez a lot of protection. And Cano batting 5th a game. So Teixeira leads off second. Count 2-2.
Verlander can always reach back for a good fastball. And if he doesn't make too much of a mistake with it, he can really blow it by the hitters.
Just underway here at Yankee Stadium. No score, bottom of the first inning. The 2-2. Goes with a breaking ball. The count 3-2. Alex never gives out numbers that he's looking to attain. He did say 28 is an important number. That would be the Yankees' 28th championship. But he said he wanted to play in 150 games this year at least. And that's something that, because of the hit problem, has not happened the last 2 years. And still last year he was able to put up 30 and 125.
Put a lot of pressure on manager Joe Girardi too. When to rest him. Maybe days he wanted him in the lineup, he would be forced to take him out.
3-2. And another walk by Verlander. And the Yankees have runners on first and second, 2 outs for Robinson Cano. Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network.
Verlander working carefully to the 3 and 4 hitters in the Yankee lineup. Ends up walking both of them on close 3-2 pitches. The number for Cano that really impresses me is the .381 on base percentage from a year ago. That is way above what he has done in the past. I believe prior to last year, his best on base percentage was .356. So it shows he's more selective. He's still getting his hits.
Now the Yankees, of course, would love to score in this inning, but you see the number right underneath the Yankee score there, 24. That's pretty important because Joe Girardi's game plan was you have to work Verlander. You'd like to get him out of there after the 5th inning. Maybe he's at 100 pitches. First game, you don't let somebody go to 120. So the Yankees are building his pitch count. And there's a changeup for a strike.
I believe that's the second changeup that Verlander has thrown, and both of them have been strikes. Threw one to Teixeira and now one to Cano.
Verlander, because he was dedicated to getting off to a good start, throwing his off-speed and breaking pitches early in spring training. That was not off-speed. That was 96 miles an hour, but outside the zone. So Verlander has lost the strike zone.
There's pitching coach Rick Knapp, who's keeping the charting the pitches that Verlander has thrown, and he can't be too excited about the fact that he's already thrown 26 pitches here in the first inning.
The 2-1. 2-2.
Verlander expected to lead these Tigers to a Central Division title. Of course, they've got a lot of competition with the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox, two very strong teams in the American League.
The pitch just stays alive. What a year Cano had last year. .319 average, and obviously up there in the MVP voting as well. This guy still, according to a lot of scouts, just scratched the surface last year. They actually believe he could be much better than that.
Yeah, he's coming into the prime of his career. Only one player had more hits than Cano last year. That was Ichiro Suzuki of the Seattle Mariners. And he's the only player that's had more hits than Cano in the American League in the last 2 seasons.
Teixeira off second, A-Rod off first.
Good swing. .96 miles an hour.
CC Sabathia got through the top of the first inning with just 14 pitches, and Verlander about to throw his 30th.
You go back to 2004, the Tigers made Verlander their #1 draft pick out of Old Dominion University. This is a good matchup. #1 pitcher against maybe the Yankees' best overall hitter.
So that gives the base runners an advantage. It's a 3-2 count with 2 outs. They'll be going with the pitch. Swisher is on deck. Tigers did make the playoffs last year. The Yankees got in a game behind the Rays as the wild card. Made it to the American League Championship Series, where they lost in 6 games to the Texas Rangers. Crowd getting into it for the first time today. And Verlander with the inside move towards second.
That works about once a year, but not today.
Lights have been on here at the stadium since the top of the first inning. A little bit overcast, so the sun playing hooky today. And the lights are doing the job. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming as the runners will go. Swing and a miss. He got him. Dialed it up to 96 to strike out Cano and get out of the first. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 men left. We've played 1 at the stadium on opening day. There's no score. Well, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Today's question is, as Derek Jeter closes in on 3,000 hits, which do you think is his most memorable moment to date? The choices are, #1, the flip play Number 2, Mr. November home run. Number 3, the dive into the stands against the Red Sox. That's the Flaherty game. Number 4, passing Gehrig on the franchise hits list. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Miguel Cabrera digs in. Cabrera had 4 home runs in 4 games at the stadium last year. Put together an MVP type of season. Finished second in the voting to Josh Hamilton of the Rangers. Pitches outside. He got himself into some trouble right at the beginning of spring training on February 16th. He was arrested in St. Lucie County, Florida, for suspicion of driving under the influence and resisting arrest. Reported a little late to Tiger Camp, but they are taking care of it internally, getting him some help. And he is so important to what they will do as a team this year.
Well, it's not the first time that he's had issues with alcohol, and he is a big-time player in the Detroit Fortunes this year. I mean, he's their #1 hitter, #1 run producer, and they're going to have to keep a watchful eye on him during the course of the season.
Line drive and a base hit.
And I think the feeling is, Michael, during the structure of a baseball season, he's all right. But when the season is over and the players go off to their hometowns or wherever, that's where sometimes the problems can start to multiply.
So he gets his 1,401st hit of his career. This is his 9th season in the big leagues. And here is Victor Martinez. The Tigers struck early in the free agent period, signed him. Now, he's been a catcher and a first baseman most of his career. That's what he did last year with the Red Sox. 6 home runs out of the 20 were against the Yankees. But he is going to almost be exclusively the designated hitter for the Tigers.
Yeah, the feeling is he might catch 2 or 3 times a week, and Avila would do the other catching. But this guy is a legitimate 100 RBI man. He's in there to protect Cabrera. Get him some good pitches to hit. Here's our Home Depot scouting report on Victor Martinez. As I said, protection for Cabrera. Cabrera last year had 32 intentional base on balls. The feeling is Martinez hitting behind him, they'll get him some more strikes to hit. Last year he was #1 in the league against left-handed pitching. Hit 400, and he got hit number 1,000 off Sabathia at Fenway Park, and it was a home run.
He's 5 for 22 lifetime against CC. And that one is off the glove of Jeter, and it trickles into center field for a base hit. Cabrera will stop there at second, and the Tigers are set up first and second and nobody out.
Solid shot off the glove of Derek Jeter. If he come up with it, it would have been a double play ball. That's how hard the ball was hit. Martinez follows through. Remember what I said? He hit 400 against lefties last year. Switch hitter. And this one off Jeter's glove and in the center. So the Tigers have 2 on and nobody out.
Talking to Jerry Meals, the first base umpire. Here's Ryan Rayburn. Good numbers last year. Hit .315 in spring training. Tigers train at a sleepy little burg in Florida named Lakeland. They've been there forever at Joker Marchand Stadium.
Forever.
Pretty close to forever.
Yeah. Rayburn had a good spring. Hit 4 home runs. Ty Cabrera for the team lead.
Let's see if they have him bunt. No, he swings away.
Last year he really came on at the end of the season. Brennan Bosch, who had such a great first half, struggled in the second half, and Bosch is probably playing in tomorrow's game with the Yankees going with a right-hander. But Rayburn was really solid in the second half of the season. Saturday's game. Tomorrow's the day off. Always a day off after opening day.
A lot of young fans might wonder why they do that, but most teams have a day off, especially those with outdoor stadiums, in case there's inclement weather and the game's rained out. There's a day to put that opening day, which people value, and that's why there's always a day off after the opener. Two one. 3-1. So Sabathia in his first jam of the season. CC came into camp a lot lighter. He lost 25 pounds. Weighed in at 290. 3-1. There's a strike. And one of the reasons he lost the weight was to take some weight off of his knees. He had a minor meniscus surgery on his right knee, October 29th. And the knee feels fine. He said he feels a lot better with 25 pounds less on his frame.
He had a good spring.
3-2. New pitching coach for the Yankees is Larry Rothschild. Came over from the Cubs. Well liked. Mariano Rivera raves about him.
A lot of experience. Last 7 seasons pitching coach for the Chicago Cubs. And one of the things that made the Yankee job so favorable for Rothschild, he lives in Tampa.
3-2. Missed, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out here in the second for the Tigers.
CC went to the 3-2 changeup.
So here is Johnny Peralta, Tigers shortstop. You might remember him with the Indians. He split the season between the Indians and Tigers last year. Good run producer for a shortstop, 81 ribbies. Low on base percentage, though. He's batting lower in the order. Yankees looking for a double play here. And there's a fastball strike. You've got Cabrera at third, Victor Martinez at second, and Ryan Rayburn is at first.
Yeah, Peralta had a very slow spring, and he hasn't done well against CC Sabathia in the past.
The 0-1. 1-1.
Look at the Russell Martin, who had to get a feel for a new pitching staff, and also get a feel for a new league coming over to the American League.
One. High drive, center field. That's going to get a run in as Granderson drifts back. He'll make the catch, tagging Cabrera. He'll score easily. Moving to third is Victor Martinez. It's a sac fly for Peralta, and the Tigers are on the board. They lead the Yankees 1-0.
So Johnny Peralta, who did not drive in a run all of spring training, drives in one in his first at bat in the regular season. Yep. That's baseball, Michael.
They always say don't fall in love with what you see in March or what you see in September. Here's Brandon Inge. 70 ribbies from lower in the lineup for the Tigers. He's their third baseman. Double play still in order. Breaking ball is a strike. Rayburn's at first. Second base is open. Held on there by Teixeira. Rayburn is. Martin last year with the Dodgers threw out 30.6% of all base stealers, and that was the 7th best percentage in the major leagues. There's a line drive. Cano makes the catch. Tries to look for the double play. It's not there, but there are 2 outs.
Cano, after he makes the play, immediately looks towards first, and Mark Teixeira decides to hold on as Rayburn was not moving. Recognizing right away, you can see him put the brakes on. If Cano had a chance, and wanted to get doubled up.
Here's Alex Avila. Young catcher. A lot of people think that the Tigers should catch Victor Martinez more. He's really not a detriment behind the plate. He's not Johnny Bench. He's had some elbow problems, but Avila is not going to hit as much as Martinez, and Martinez historically has not hit as well as a DH as he did when he caught. Things can change, though.
Well, Martinez kind of falling into the role of Jorge Posada. Although I do believe Martinez will find himself behind the plate this year a few times. Avila threw out 38% last year, so he's very solid throwing out the base stealers.
The 0-1. Fastball in on the hands, 0-2. Crowd looking for a strikeout from Sabathia. He'll take it out any way he can get it. So a low pitch count in the first inning of 14. It's bumped up to 21 at least this inning, about to be 22. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, couldn't hold up. So Sabathia, all things considered, escapes relatively unscathed. Tigers score a run. Now the Yankees will try to come back. Swisher, Posada, and Granderson coming up. Attention DirecTV subscribers. Yes Network's agreement with DirecTV will expire tomorrow, April 1st. We've been working diligently towards a new deal, but DirecTV may cease to carry the Yes Network. Starting Saturday, you may lose your entire season of Yankees baseball on Yes. Please call 1-800-DirecTV and tell them to keep the Yes Network and the Yankees on the air. Here's Nick Swisher leading off against Verlander, and the first pitch is a strike. Since 2005, Swisher 7 for 19 on opening day. Had an all-star season last year. That one is driven into left field. Ryan Rayburn is there for the first out. One 1-0 Tigers over the Yankees. Now the Yankees have won their last 10 opening days here at the stadium. So the last 10 times they played opening day, the first game of the season at the stadium, they've won. That's an American League record. The last time the Yankees lost an opening day game at the stadium, 1982 against the White Sox. And the longest streak in big league history, the New York Mets won 11 straight from 1971 to 1989. That's the major league streak. So the Yankees trying to tie that. Here's Posada. And the pitch is high.
Posada's first day as the primary designated hitter for the New York Yankees. 5-time All-Star, is primarily a catcher.
That one is driven out into left center. Rayburn makes the play for the second out. This moment in Yankees history brought to you by Johnny Walker. ...2004, I remember this one. The Yankees defeat Tampa Bay 12-1 in Japan, winning their first ever non-North American game. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Here's Curtis Granderson. There's a strike. He looked great in spring training. We told you about the oblique problem he had toward the end, but He did so well the final 2 months of last year, and he picked up right where he left off. There's that changeup, count 0-2.
Yeah, those are the swings and misses that might test that oblique muscle that had Curtis miss some time. And it was kind of iffy if he might go on the disabled list, but avoided it. Let's go back to the first inning. And an excellent play in center field to get things started defensively for the Yankees this year.
Count 2-2.
Yeah, Curtis strained that oblique on March the 22nd in a game in Sarasota during batting practice. It was his last swing of batting practice, and had to leave the game, and it was kind of iffy whether he would have to go on the DL or not, but he's here. He's playing in a minor league game yesterday in Tampa, got a couple of hits.
Well, Verlander, his pitches are really moving today. He has great stuff, but he's having a little bit of a difficult time commanding them, and that's why his pitch count is at 40 here with 2 outs in the second inning.
Yeah, but the Yankees don't have a hit as of yet, primarily because his stuff is that good. So if he can start commanding and locating, he could be really, really difficult to deal with. Now, here's a guy who threw the first no-hitter in the history of Comerica Park. I think it was in 2007.
That's what he's done the last 5 seasons. Just a solid pitcher, but in his 3 opening day starts, he has an ERA of 9.92. Popped up and out of play. Now, we told you about Granderson's strong finish last year, Kenny. From August 14th on, he had 14 home runs. He finished with 24. Now, remember, the year before, in a very large Comerica Park, he had 30 for the Tigers, and people figured at Yankee Stadium that would translate to at least 30, but he got off to a slow start and finished strong. Fouled away. First 88 games, 239, 10, and 33. Low on base percentage. Last 48, and that followed his extensive work with the Yankee hitting coach Kevin Long, 261, 14, and 34. And the on base percentage went up 50 points. Here's Kevin. Tipped into the glove of Avila, and that will do it as Granderson strikes out. Ah, yes, baseball's back. Hot dogs, sausages, and a 1-0 Tiger lead as we go to the third. Let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Yankees off tomorrow, then start playing again on Saturday. That's going to be a Fox game at 4:10. Then we're back on the air on Yes with the final game of the 3-game set against the Tigers. And 4 games all on Yes against the Twins. Thursday's an afternoon game. And then the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. The Yankees will open the Red Sox home season. That game on Friday. The Lincoln scoreboard has the Tigers over the Yankees 1-0. Austin Jackson fouls it away.
Jackson in his rookie year last year for the Tigers played a very good center field, scored 103 runs.
He came into camp a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, and they expect his home run totals to move up from 4 maybe into double digits. But he does have to correct, and he did it in the first inning. He strikes out too much, Kenny, especially for a guy who hit 4 home runs. You can't strike out 170 times. And he led the American League in that stat. Swing and a miss. Strikes out on the chain. So 2 strikeouts of Austin Jackson by Sabathia.
You know what happens when you strike out as much as Jackson does, or some of the other guys on that list, when you get 2 strikes, it kind of gets in the back of your mind. You're trying to avoid just this. And CC went to the changeup, got him way out in front after a steady diet of fastballs, and put him away. I can recall when I got no strikeout modes, just oh no, I got 2 strikes again. Was that pitching, Ron Guidry? It's a done deal.
Here's Will Rhymes. Shows bunt, takes a pitch outside. Now Rhymes might just be renting second base. He shouldn't take out a long-term lease at that position because the Tigers are hoping that the veteran Carlos Guillen will be able to come back in a month or so. He had left knee surgery, actually microfracture surgery, which is a very difficult procedure, and he had it last September. Played in spring training, at least worked out with them. And Joel Zumaya is also missing, sore right elbow. That guy throws about 100 miles an hour. So those are the Tigers that start out on the DL.
But Rhymes, Michael, has done everything the Tigers have asked him to do. And when you have the backing of your manager, and it's no guarantee that Guillen's coming back. I mean, you said it's a tough surgery. Guillen's been hurt on and on, off and on for the last few years. And Jimmy Leyland likes what he's seen from this youngster, Will Rhymes.
Did he go? Yes, he did. So he goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the inning. And Rhymes did not like the call by Dale Scott. He thought he held up.
Here's that last pitch, and CC has got 2 strikeouts. Oh, yeah. That might have been a rookie call. It looked like he held up the meat. He wanted to appeal to the third base umpire, Dan Iasonia, but the appeal was denied.
Here's Maglio Ordonez. Now, it's not easy to strike out Rhymes. He only struck out 16 times in 213 plate appearances last year. Now Jay-Z is punching out Rhymes. Not Buster Rhymes, Will Rhymes. JD, he does it all. Umpires, raps.
See him at basketball games.
Owns part of the Nets.
Yeah.
Grounded to third. A-Rod with the big hop. Plays it to the side, fires across, and that will do it. So the Tigers go down in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Detroit. Hey, it's opening day for your lawn. That's right. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide, compliments of Lowe's.
Grass looks nice and green here at Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx.
Place is all dressed up. You've got the opening day red, white, and blue bunting, which always tells you it's a special day at the ballpark. And the place looks great. There's Russell Martin, his first at bat as a Yankee. And there's a strike. It is opening week indeed. 2 games going on right now. This one, and the Braves are leading the Nationals 2-0, top of the 4th. They got the month wrong on that base. You know, this is the first regular season game the Yankees have ever played at home in the month of March. It is March 2011. And they're starting the season earlier so that they don't have the World Series go into November. On the Lincoln scoreboard, it's 1-0 Tigers.
He talked about Russell Martin's first at bat as a Yankee. 2-time All-Star in the National League with the Dodgers.
And we also mentioned earlier when the Yankees were on defense, Kenny, that he threw out 30.6% of base runners. The Yankee catchers last year threw out 88 or got run on successfully 88.8% of the time, and that was the most of any team in baseball and the 5th worst number in the wild card year. So that goes back to 1995 when you ran against the Yankees 88.8% of the time you made it. So they want Martin to turn that around a bit. The 2-2 line drive, a base hit. A proper start to his Yankee career, a leadoff single for Russell Martin, and the Yankees' first hit of the afternoon and the season.
Well, Verlander got a fastball in the middle of the plate. This one didn't have as much movement as some of the others, and it just lined up perfectly for a solid line drive single to the left. You see the follow through, the head down, extension on the bat. Russell Martin leading the Yankees in hitting at this point.
There's Brett Gardner, a threat to bunt. Obviously, he struck out in the first inning. And he does bunt, drag bunt. And he's caught at first as he trips over the bag, but the sacrifice successful as Martin moves to second. And as we said, bunting, a big part of opening day.
Well, red, white, and blue attempt here. He gets the job done. An All-American sacrifice bunt off the bat of Brett Gardner. But I'll tell you what, you got to hustle anytime he's going down the line. There's Rhymes. He's stepping right in the middle of the bag. Get your foot stepped. In fact, he did. Maybe right on the shin there. You got to get your foot right on the side of the bag there. Make contact on the side. Rhymes is stepping right on top of the bag, and it doesn't give Gardner, who almost tripped over the bag himself.
They both could have gotten hurt.
Yep.
So here's Derek Jeter. Talking things over with the manager. And there's a strike. You think that Girardi called that, or did Gardner do it on his own and he's explaining it?
It looks like he's explaining himself. So maybe Joe didn't put the bunt sign on.
The 0-1.
And the feeling being that Gardner's tough to double up. And if he does force Martin at second, he can still steal second base.
And then you'd be in the same position, runner at second with one out.
And a faster run.
Right.
Although Martin's no slouch. I mean, at one time, Martin stole 21 bases in a season for the Dodgers.
Well, the Yankees are waiting for Verlander's early season struggles to kick in. In March and April starts, Verlander in the last 3 years has a 6.28 ERA, and only 2 pitchers are worse. Bronson Arroyo 6.52, and Gil Mesh, who's actually retired from the Royals, 6.59, and then Verlander at 6.28. Fourth on that list, Josh Beckett, 6.24.
Mesh might actually come back next month.
Just to get out of it?
Just skip April altogether.
Well, Gil Mesh did something that really is hard to believe.
He's retired.
He retired with an $11 million left on his contract this year because he said, I'm not pitching the way I want. I'm not going to waste the Royals' money.
He had some arm problems. They had tried to fight back last year. That's kind of noble in this day and age.
Oh,
yeah.
In any day and age. The 2-2.
Director John Moore at work today.
Finally.
Pete Stendel with that shot. They're pretty good against Verlander.
John Moore still with us?
I saw him this morning.
3-2.
Wow.
And Jeter walks.
Yes, our illustrious director is still with us.
Rick Knapp is suffering through an impressive but somewhat shaky performance, if that makes sense. He certainly has dominant stuff, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. He had 2 runners on in the first inning, worked a great second, and now 2 runners on here in the third.
He's only given up 1 hit, but 3 base on balls. And he set the Yankees up in the first inning. He set them up again in this inning.
Teixeira fouls it back. So Verlander has 3 walks, as you mentioned today. He did not have more than 2 walks in any of his final 8 starts last year.
You wonder if it's being overamped on the opening day.
Now, so far today, Verlander with 3 strikeouts, Kenny. So I'm going to give you the first quiz of the year.
Well, here we go.
In the last 2 years,
Verlander. Do I get help from anybody?
No, absolutely not. Runner goes from second, throw to third, not in time, stolen base for Russell Martin. Jeter stays put at first, so that was all Russell Martin going on his own.
In 2007, Russell Martin stole 21 bases for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he picks up the first stolen base of the season for the Yankees, as Brandon Inge, all he could do is make the catch and no tag whatsoever. So Martin thought he could get a good jump. It wasn't the best of jumps, but he made it anyway.
Runners on the corners, 1 out. The 2-0. Drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! A 3-run home run for Mark Teixeira, and the Yankees lead 3-1. With 1 swing, did Mark Teixeira put his early season troubles behind him?
Fastball up and in, tailing towards the middle. Teixeira gets it. It's just a matter of fair or foul, and this one is fair by about 5 to 10 feet, and the Yankees have the lead.
And the pitch to A-Rod. Strike.
There's Russell Martin taking a look. Now he knows it has the distance, and now he knows it's fair.
So the count 1-1. So with 1 swing, the Yankees take the lead. It took until game 12 last year for Teixeira to hit his first home run. That one is drilled to center field. Austin Jackson there, and he'll put it away.
You know, in the dugouts, players will lean to the left, and you see Mick Kelleher, the first base coach for the Yankees, wishing this one fair. He got his wish.
Now, I talked at length with Kevin Long during spring training, the Yankee hitting coach, about Teixeira's early season struggles, and we both joked about it. I said if he gets a home run or 2 hits in the first game, all of a sudden the mental aspect will be over. And he laughed. He goes, I'm telling you, if he gets a good first game, you're right, it's probably going to be over with. So he's walked and hit a 3-run home run so far.
He's 1 for 1 on the season.
And all the offseason work that Teixeira did, he tweaked his workout regimen. Maybe it's helped him. I told you he built that batting cage. He took BP early in the winter rather than waiting till the end of January before he headed down to Tampa. He's been hitting for most of the offseason. Cano struck out with runners on first and second, 2 outs in the first inning. Just missed outside. And the 1-2 swing and a miss. Has Cano down on strikes for the second time. But the Yankees scored 3 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, a 3-run home run by Mark Teixeira. His 3rd opening day home run in his career, but his first since 2005. He's pumped. Sabathia has a 3-1 lead as we go to the 4th. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Sabathia is making his 3rd opening day start for the Yanks. What 3 Yankee pitchers each made 7 opening day starts? We'll find that out a little later on. Pitch to Miguel Cabrera is a strike.
It's a very good question to get things started on the season. I hope they get easier from this point on.
So Justin Verlander, his location problems finally come back to haunt him as Mark Teixeira crushes one into the second deck in right field.
I believe he turned around a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, let's look at the Delta League leaders, and boy, it's hard to figure out. Right now, Teixeira leads Major League Baseball with 3. Last year, Miguel Cabrera had 126, 1 ahead of the Yankees' Alex Rodriguez. Just missed outside. 3-1 Yankees lead.
I was talking about the fact that Cabrera had 32 intentional walks last year. And that is 1 off the American League record, which is held by 2 left-handed hitters of note, Ted Williams and John Olerud. And that's one reason why the Tigers went out and signed Victor Martinez, who was on deck, figuring that they might get Cabrera some more pitches to hit in big situations.
Your team puts up a crooked number. Job of a pitcher is then to put up a 0 in the next half inning. That is a crooked number. And Miguel Cabrera works a walk to lead off the fourth.
I was talking about the American League record of 33 intentional base on balls. The Major League record is completely different.
That Mr. Bonds? 120
in 2004. In 2004.
I believe that now the Orioles manager and then the Diamondbacks manager, Buck Showalter, walked him intentionally with the bases loaded to force in a run in the 9th inning.
In a game they actually won.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Foul back. Martinez, one of 2 big signings that the Tigers made during the offseason. The other one being Joaquin Benoit, who was such a big part of the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen last year. He's going to be the setup man here with the Tigers.
Benoit had a very good spring training session as well. But a Tampa Bay bullpen just decimated.
Their closer, Rafael Soriano, now a member of the Yankee bullpen. Randy Choate's gone. Dan Wheeler is gone. He's with the Red Sox. Grant Balfour, I believe, was with the A's. And Benoit is here with the Tigers.
Jimmy Leyland in his 6th year with the Detroit Tigers.
66 years old, and he said during spring training, my tail is on the line. They didn't play well last year. They didn't live up to their expectations. They made the changes they needed. He's in his 6th season as Tiger manager, but he said he and the GM, Dave Dombrowski, their tails are on the line.
Both in the last year of their contracts. And he addressed that, I believe it was yesterday. He said that's the last he's going to talk about.
The 2-2, swing and a miss. Low and outside fastball as Sabathia strikes out Victor Martinez.
Yeah, strikeout number 5 for Sabathia on the afternoon. He's had at least 1 in every inning so far. And he got Victor Martinez to leave the strike zone. And one thing about being a good hitter, a lot of it's about discipline and not swinging at pitches out of the zone. That time Martinez got himself out. Nice.
Now, one of the hallmarks of the Tigers under Leland is that they always get off to a good start. In the first half, they have a .576 winning percentage under Leland, but in the second half, they collapse. They have a .459 winning percentage. So his first half numbers in the years with the Tigers, 2nd best in baseball, and his second half numbers, the 25th worst in baseball.
Last year, they finished at an even .500.
Those are the overall records under Leland. Line drive, a base hit. So Rayburn picks up a single as Cabrera moves to second.
Mentioned that Rayburn had a good second half last year and really came on. In fact, he was Tiger Player of the Month for both August and September, in a year where Miguel Cabrera led the league in runs batted in. And he parlayed that into more of a role this year, getting a chance to play left field on an everyday basis.
First and second, 1 out. 3-1 Yankees lead. Teixeira with a 3-run home run in the 3rd. And the pitch to Peralta is outside. Peralta and Sabathia used to be teammates with the Indians. had a sac fly against his former mate. First RBI of the year, obviously. First run for the Tigers.
Peralta did something last year that no other Detroit Tiger has ever done. The day after he was traded from Cleveland to Detroit, his first 2 times up, he hit home runs at Fenway Park. No other Tigers hit home runs in his first 2 plate appearances.
Count 2-1. High pop-up, shallow left. Gardner, 2 outs. Now, if you take a look around the Yankee outfield and infield, you're going to see something that you haven't seen in about 80 years. And here's what I mean. The Yankee outfield and the Yankee infield is the same Yankee outfield and infield from last year. It's the first time since 26 and 27 that the Yankees have started the same 3 outfielders and the same 4 infielders in consecutive seasons. Since 26 and 27. And then it was Musial, Combs, Ruth, Dugan, Koenig, Lazari, and Gehrig. That's amazing. In 1927, of course, Murderers Row.
A lot of people say that was the best team ever. 1927 Yankees. Babe Ruth was at the height of his powers. It was his 60 home run season. And Lou Gehrig wasn't far behind.
I'm just amazed at that stat. The people at Elias came up with that. You know, all night they were up on the top of the dusty shelves looking at the past lineups from the Yankees, and they said, wow, they had to go back to 1926 and 27.
But the key was Curtis Granderson getting back here from Florida yesterday to get into the lineup.
The people at Elias were rooting for him because all that dust, all that climbing, all those books, it would have been for naught if Curtis wasn't in the lineup. And in fact, the Yankees have not had the same 3 outfielders in back-to-back seasons in the opening day lineup since 67 and 68, when it was Tom Tresh, Joe Pepitone, and Bill Robinson. And that was during Mickey Mantle's 2 seasons at first base.
The 27 Yankees were pretty good.
110 and 44. Hey, take the Yankees with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 1-2 count on Inge. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Line drive inside third and down the left field line. Cabrera will score. Moving to third is Rayburn. And holding at first with an RBI single, Brandon Inge, as the Tigers have closed it to 3-2.
Well, Brandon Inge already has to be one of the happiest players on opening day because he went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. And they've made it to the Final Four for the first time in school history. And he hits his shot by Alex Rodriguez down the line. Now, Inge is already a member of the Hall of Fame, but it was for baseball at VCU, of course, and he drives in his first run of the season, makes it a 3-2 ball game.
So you're saying Inge is a huge Shaka Smart fan?
Yeah, I would think so.
Here's Alex Avila. He struck out in the second inning. This same situation, first and third with 2 outs. Now, what happened with Inge was a problem for CC last year. Opponents hit .313 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position against Sabathia last year. Count 0-2. We are in the fourth. 3-2. Opening day at the stadium. Yankees and the Tigers. Swing and a miss. So Sabathia comes back to strike out Avila, and that'll do it in the fourth. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees up by 1. Is the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Sabathia making his 3rd opening day start for the Yankees. What 3 Yankee pitchers each made 7 opening day starts? I think Stoudemire's one. Mel Stoudemire.
Yeah, I know who the other 2 are.
All right. Tell us.
Left-handers.
Whitey Ford and Ron Guidry.
Yeah.
You enjoyed hitting against Guidry, right?
He was tremendous. You know, you talked about the easy 0 for 4s. He was a hard 0 for 4. It was a hard night.
Hole number 49 saw him in spring training. Pitch outside to Nick Swisher. Yankees lead 3-2. All 3 Yankee runs on 1 swing. A 3-run home run by Mark Teixeira in the 3rd.
You know, Swisher is, I call him the unsung hero of the Yankee lineup because Joe Girardi has a way of batting him all over the place, up and down the lineup. 2nd to 7th. And Swisher's very consistent. He's had at least 20 home runs in the last 4 seasons. Yeah, hit 29 last year. There's only 3 other hitters in the American League who can say that. Alex Rodriguez is one of them. Paul Konerko's another. And David Ortiz is the other one. Now you might say, where's Mark Teixeira? He played in the National League for a little bit.
The Atlanta Braves.
Although he's hit at least 30 home runs in each of the last 7 seasons, but one of those was combined American League and National.
And Swisher strikes out. Now I had a quiz for you I was going to give you, and then Mark Teixeira hit the home run. So you just see a strikeout there by Verlander. In the last 2 years, he had 488 strikeouts. Who's the only pitcher in big league baseball that had more strikeouts than Verlander? I'll give you a hint. National League.
Lincecum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's a good pitcher.
Yeah, but you're in midseason form. Here's Posada.
He looks nasty, that guy. He looks like somebody you wouldn't want to hit against. See, the key was you said National League. I wouldn't have gotten it any other way.
Count 1-1. Now Jorge Posada has hit 4 home runs in his career on opening day. And that's tied for second place on the Yankee list with Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle. Who had more? Babe Ruth had 5. And Posada flies out to right.
There's Maglio Ordonez in right field, and that's been true each and every one of the last 6 opening days. Maglio Ordonez in right field for the Detroit Tigers. And he is the Tigers are the only team to start the same right fielder in each of the last 6 seasons. Solid hitter. Missed a lot of time last year with an injury.
Ground ball to first, backhanded by Cabrera, flips to Verlander. So Verlander, after a struggling third, comes back with a 1-2-3 4th inning. We are through 4 on opening day, and the Yankees lead the Tigers 3-2.
Our Audi update, and among the games going on around the majors right now, one game stands out. The Braves leading the Nationals 2-0, bottom of the 6th. Why does it stand out? Because for the second straight year, Jason Hayward went deep in his first at bat of opening day. It got him Rookie of the Year honors last year. He goes deep again. Braves leading that one. We'll have more coming up later. Now back to Michael.
Well, thank you, Bob. Back here at the stadium, the Yankees are leading this one 3-2. Top of the 5th inning behind the big guy, CC Sabathia, their ace, their #1 starter, and that's the deal on opening day. That's who you see, and we've got a great pitchers duel right here. Sabathia against Verlander, 2 of the best pitchers in baseball. Top of the order, and Austin Jackson leads off. Now, one thing that Sabathia gives you is great performance on the field and really unsung what he does off the field, and that leads us perfectly into our good friend Kimberly Jones, who's down in the third base camera well. This guy does it off the field as well, Kim.
You're right, Michael. Whether it's getting Orlando Magic tickets or Knicks tickets for his teammates, he's always hooking them up with something. And here's this from Ivan Nova today. Nova last year when he was called up, like many young players, really wasn't suited to be a major leaguer. Literally, he didn't have many suits. CC told him, I want you to come to my house. We're going to have some custom-made suits for you. Be there this date, 1 o'clock. Nova never went. He was too nervous. He said he didn't know what to do, so he didn't go. Well, this time around, Ivan Nova very much part of this Yankees team and rotation, and CC took care of business during spring training. He told Nova, get over to my house. We're having you fitted. He did indeed. Nova has a bunch of suits on the way, courtesy of CC. Michael, he's not sure when they're going to arrive. He's not even sure how many he's getting, but you and I both know Sabathia will hook the young man up.
I'll tell you what, Kim and Kenny as well, that is as one of the rights of being a big leaguer. It's called paying it forward. I'm sure it happened in your day, Kenny.
It certainly did. I can recall walking into the lobby of in a hotel in Chicago my first day in the big leagues, and the general manager, Bob Sheffing, gave me some money. Of course, the suits weren't expensive in those days. Go down to Marshall Field and get yourself some clothes.
Really?
And it was just peeled the money right out of his pocket.
Here's Will Rhymes, and he shows Buntek's pitch outside. Now, Verlander's doing a good job on the other side against Sabathia, and that was one of the things that he was determined to do after poor starts the last couple of years, Kim.
He was, and Victor Martinez told me, and he's a new Tiger, but certainly a veteran major leaguer. He said from the first day of spring training, you could tell Verlander wanted to turn it around when it came to starting slowly. He said you could see it on his face. He said he was determined. Victor Martinez very impressed with the competitiveness of Verlander, his new teammate. He says he reminds him a lot of CC, which is high praise from Victor, who also knows Sabathia so well from their time in Cleveland. He says with these two on the mound today, we're going to have to beat them to get them off the mound, because he thinks both of them would be in for long innings or long outings. That was before today's game, and I think Victor Martinez was right, Michael.
Drag bunt by Rhymes, fielded by Teixeira, and it's dropped by Cano, and everybody is safe. It was about to be a sacrifice. Now it looks like it's going to be an E4, as Cano did not hold on to the ball from Teixeira.
Yeah, I think the sacrifice is still in mode. He'll get, but it's an E4 for allowing Rhymes to reach base. That was a good throw, right on the money. Looked like Cano got a little fancy trying to catch it instead of letting the ball go into the glove, and he knocked it down. And that's from a guy who had a stretch of 81 straight games without an error last year.
And a Gold Glove winner for the first time, and he really deserved it. Some people thought it was a couple of years too late. So the Yankees have a little bit of a jam here. First and second, nobody out. In the heart of the order coming up, Ordonez at the plate and Cabrera on deck. Ordonez 0 for 2, a fly ball to center and a ground ball to third. Tigers are down by 1. Now the guy that's on deck, Cabrera, 1 for 1 with a walk and 2 runs scored. And Kim, he has a lot to make up for the way he came into spring training with the issues that we detailed earlier, and this guy is the key to the Tigers' success, I believe.
He absolutely is, Michael, and I mentioned this during pregame as well. I talked to Miguel before today's game, and I asked him if he set any numbers as goals for the season. We all know the great numbers he puts up perennially. He said to me, well, no. We want to win games. He said, that's my only goal. If we win games, my numbers will take care of themselves. He truly is in it for his team at this point, he tells me. And I checked in with Victor Martinez on that as well. The thinking is Victor Martinez will be very good for Miguel Cabrera. He is a veteran. He is a family man. He is also from Venezuela. The thinking is he will be another person in that clubhouse Miguel Cabrera can go to if and when he needs to. And Victor's response to me was, he's going to be fine. He's a kid, but he's growing up. And he also said, when he's at bat, shut your eyes and just listen. With all due respect to all the great hitters I've played with, the ball is just different coming off Cabrera's bat.
Well, it's Ordonez at the plate right now. Cabrera waits on deck. First and second, and nobody out. Fouled away. Now, on opening day, it seems like the most important thing in the world to baseball fans happens to be the game that's in front of them. But there are things that are going on in the world right now that puts it all into perspective. And the Yankees are doing a nice thing today, Kim, and trying to raise money for the victims of some of the tragedies that have gone on around the world in the last month or so.
Absolutely, Michael. And over the last few weeks, we've all learned how much Japan needs our help. And to that aim, Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association have committed $500,000 to UNICEF towards Japan relief efforts. That money will be raised. Fans are obviously included in this and are encouraged to donate. They can do so here at Yankee Stadium today and in coming days, and really at all ballparks and stadiums around the country. So reaching out to help those in Japan.
Backhanded by Jeter. The throw to second. They get the force, and that will do it. Kim, we thank you, and we'll talk to you on the post-game show as the Yankees get the first out at second base, and there are runners on first and third with one man out.
Good play by Jeter going to his right on a fairly hard hit ball by Ordonez, and to get the force at second, that means a double play would get them out of the inning. Turn and the accurate throw just ahead of the sliding Rhymes in the second. Nice over the shoulder throw quickly to second base for the force.
Very tough hitter at the plate. Kim was just talking about him, and second in the MVP voting last year, Miguel Cabrera. First and third, and that one is drilled to center field. That should tie the game. Austin Jackson tags at third. Granderson makes the catch. The throw will come into Jeter. It's a sac fly, and the game is tied at 3.
There are certain hitters in the league you don't want to see up there in run batted in situations, and certainly Miguel Cabrera, who led the league last year and has had 7 straight 100 or more RBI seasons. He's one of them. You don't want to see him up there with a chance to produce a run. In fact, a lot of people would say when he steps up to the plate, even with nobody on base, he's already in RBI position.
So Cabrera, 2 runs scored today and an RBI, and here's Victor Martinez. And a strike. Switch hitter. Lifetime as a DH, a 235 hitter. Lifetime as a first baseman, a 313 hitter. Lifetime as a catcher, a 299 hitter. And so far today, he's 1 for 2 as a DH. You see that patch on the right sleeve for the Tigers, Sparky 11. And that is to honor Sparky Anderson, former manager of the Tigers, who passed away on November 4th of last year at the age of 76 from dementia. Sometime during this season, the Tigers are going to retire number 11.
Where Sparky led the Tigers to the World Championship in 1984.
Finished 104 and 58, 26 seasons as a manager, all of them with the Reds or the Tigers. 3-time world champion, 2-time manager of the year, both times with the Tigers. 6th all-time in career wins, and he made the Hall of Fame in 2000. Great ambassador for the game, and in that 1984 World Series, the Tigers won that one 4-1.
In 1984 season, that the Tigers, they just blew away to the Eastern Division. They started the season 35-5 and left everybody in the dust.
Never look back. CeCe's at 90 pitches now, 2 outs into the 5th inning. Joe Girardi said before the game he can give you 110 today. Grounded softly to third. Charging is Alex Rodriguez. Off balance throw, and they get Martinez for the final out. Well, that error certainly loomed large as the Tigers tie the score, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left. We're halfway through, 3-3. brought to you in part by the Men's Store and Lord & Taylor, and by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. Big crowd here at the stadium. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Yankees and the Tigers are knotted at 3. Yankees have just 2 hits, but one of them, a 3-run home run by Mark Teixeira. The Yankees scoring in the 3rd. Here's Russell Martin. Pitch outside, 1-0.
At this point, the way that the Yankee lineup is made out by manager Joe Girardi, the bottom third can be very productive with Posada, Granderson, and Martin. The Yankees, of course, led all the major leagues in runs scored last year with 859. But with Posada, you have a potential for maybe 20 home runs. Granderson hit 24 last year, despite the fact he missed about a month on the DL. And Russell Martin can be productive as well out of the 9th slot.
Martin's season was somewhat abbreviated last year. On August 3rd, he broke his hip and also tore a labrum. Had that repaired. Then during the offseason, he hurt his knee during offseason workouts, and that slowed him down a little bit at the beginning of spring training. But he was fine once he got in there. That one is looped into shallow left. Will it find the grass? Diving is Rayburn, and he makes the play. Nice play by Ryan Rayburn. Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question is, Derek Jeter closes in on 3,000 hits. Which do you think is his most memorable to date? You've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you voted. 38% think it's the dive into the stands in the John Flaherty game, and then 32% the flip play.
Is that it forever known as a, was you look at the dive? Ryan Rayburn in left field was nice. Is that the way you're going to refer to that, the John Flaherty game?
Well, I'm sorry, Ken. I didn't want to make this public, but during one of the spring training games that John and I did, he insisted that it be called the John Flaherty
I understand.
game.
Okay, well,
I
guess that's the way it's got to be then.
Yep. The 0-1. There's a strike. Gardner 0 for 2, or check that 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. And now he's 0 for 2 as he strikes out against Verlander. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, both of these pitchers are living up to their reputations as strikeout pitchers. Sabathia has 6, and now Verlander has 6 strikeouts.
And here's the aforementioned Derek Jeter as he marches toward 3,000, 74 hits away. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored today. Ground ball up the middle. Peralta behind the bag. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Justin Verlander and the Tigers. 5 in the books here in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. It's a 3-3 game on opening day. And all of that adds up to opening day in a 3-3 game here as we head to the 6th. Mark Teixeira with a 3-run home run. CC Sabathia with 5 innings of 5-hit ball, allowing 3 runs. And now here's Ryan Rayburn to start off the 6th. Like the changeup swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1.
So Joe Girardi said about 110.
110.
So that would lead you to believe CZ is going to need an awfully quick inning here to get beyond the 6th.
Driven out toward right field. Nick Swisher drifts over toward the corner, and he makes the play for the first out. David Robertson beginning to throw in the Yankee bullpen. And Kenny, watching them in spring training and look at the names that they put together, the Yankee bullpen could be the strength of the team and could be one of the best bullpens, if not the best bullpen in baseball.
Yeah, you figure once the Yankees could have the lead from the 6th inning on, you got Jabba maybe for the 7th, along with David Robertson. You have some left-handers out there in Boone Logan, and when he's healthy, Pedro Feliciano. And then, of course, you get into Rafael Soriano. There's Boone Logan. And the incomparable Mariano Rivera to send everybody home.
The 1-0. Nice night last night for the Yankees. Their welcome home dinner, which they begin every home season with. And Mike Messina, who threw out the first pitch today, got the Pride of the Yankees award. And Yogi Berra won the Lifetime Achievement Award and was there to receive it. Just a lovely night. The whole team was there. Got huge ovations from a sellout crowd, and the Yankees and the Yankee welcome home dinner raised $1.3 million for the Yankee Foundation. All that money goes to charity. That's the most money they've ever raised at one of the dinners. So $1.3 million to charity. The 2-1. 2-2.
You mentioned Yogi as you watch David Robertson warming up. Yogi homered 4 straight opening days for the Yankees. 4 straight opening day home runs. That's the Yankee record.
Strike 3. Peralta down looking, 2 away.
Attention DirecTV subscribers. Yes Network's agreement with DirecTV will expire tomorrow. That's April 1st. We've been working diligently towards a new deal, but DirecTV may cease to carry the Yes Network. Starting Saturday, you may lose your entire season of Yankees baseball on Yes. Please call 1-800-DirecTV and tell them to keep the Yes Network and the Yankees on the air.
Brandon Inge fouls it back. A little bit of a new look above the grandstand here at the stadium. It's an old new look, but last year they had all the championship years on flags rimming the grandstand. This year they have all the teams and their names on flags above the lights. And what they've done, at least on this opening day, is they've put them in the way they finished last year. All of the divisions in baseball. Kind of a neat touch, and I'm sure they'll change that each day as the standings change. Did he go? Yes, he did.
There have been 13 strikeouts in this game combined with Sabathia and Verlander. But the last strikeout of Peralta was the first one on a called third strike. So you're getting some overpowering pitching here on opening day.
Line drive into left center. It's a base hit. Now Gardner will cut it off, at least stop it, but he cannot stop it from being a double as Brandon Inge picks up a double with 2 outs.
You get a chance to check out the replay on this hit by Inge. Russell Martin wanted that pitch up a little higher. You can see where he wants it up here, but CC didn't get it there. It was just over belt high, and Inge was able to get the barrel of the bat on it. They were trying to get him to chase a pitch out of the strike zone, and that, I don't know if there was any indecision between Brett Gardner and Curtis Granderson as to who was going to stop this. But the ball took an extra quick hop, and then Gardner has to chase it down. I don't know if he thought Granderson was going to go for it, but it was almost directly between the two of them.
So now the go-ahead run in scoring position. And here's Alex Avila. Pitch outside. He's struck out twice against Sabathia, and frankly, he's looked a bit overmatched in his first 2 at-bats. Let's see if he's made any adjustments.
CC has pounded him in. It ain't gone away with the breaking ball.
There he pounds him in again.
Well, you know that's got to hurt on a day like today. Here it is, regular speed. Hurts even more that way. You know, catchers are used to getting beat up a bit, but there are no shin guards right there on your toes. Wow.
Count 2-1. Well, we said it was 2 of the best pitchers in baseball going against each other. This is what they've done so far. Verlander has allowed 2 hits in 5 innings, but the big hit was a 3-run home run by Teixeira. Sabathia 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, and 1 of them unearned. 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. The 2-1. That one is looped into left center. Coming on Granderson, he makes the play for the final out of the inning. He had him played perfectly. Well, the Tigers don't score. Time now for a word from our friends at the Fox Business Network. This is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Verlander is still in there for the Tigers, and he will face the guy that's hurt him today, Mark Teixeira. A walk and a 3-run home run. Pitch outside. So Verlander has had a high pitch count over the first couple of innings, but he's lived to tell about it. Been a lot more economical. As his pitch count here starting the 6th inning, 88. 3-3 game. Count 2-1. Jabba Chamberlain now warming in the Yankee pen. And between innings, we got to look at CC talking with Rothschild and Girardi, and it certainly looked as if his day was over after 6 innings.
It looked like he was trying to talk him out of it.
Count 3-2.
So far in this at bat, Verlander's kept everything away from Teixeira. The fastball was a pitch that was up and in that he hit the home run on in the 3rd inning.
Ground ball to second. Rhymes. 1 away. Here's that conversation between innings. Shakes the hand of his catcher, Russell Martin. And then Girardi comes by, and Rothschild will join the pitcher. No, I'm fine. No.
I'm fine, man.
That pat on the bat is not what you like.
Yeah,
not at that point.
It's the big picture. It's a long season.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, breaking ball. 1-0. Alex walked in the 1st inning and had a fly ball to center in the 3rd. Another breaking ball. Count 2-0. Alex starts the season with 613 home runs. Count 3-0. Does Girardi green light A-Rod here at 3-0?
Yeah, go for it.
Canoa's on deck.
One swing could mean 1 run.
He takes that one. Strike on the inside corner. Some of the West Coast cadets here at the ballpark watching this 3-3 game opening day, bottom of the 6th inning. We thank them for all that they do. That one's driven out to right center field. Giving chase, Austin Jackson on the run, on the track, and it's off the wall. Bounds past him as Alex Rodriguez motors the second, and he'll stop right there with a double.
Well, Michael, you mentioned the wind blowing in and the heavy air here in the Bronx today. It's very damp. This ball maybe not carrying the way it will later in the season, but A-Rod got a pretty good piece of it. Maybe he thought it was gone, but the ball is going to hit high off the glass out in the bullpen. The ball gets by Jackson, and A-Rod has himself a double. You know what? He might have had a triple. Coming out of the box a little stronger, but a 2-base hit here puts him in scoring position. Watch the cadets as they watch this. They think it has a chance. Oh, only halfway home.
Here's Cano. He has struck out twice against Verlander. Pitch outside. Verlander has left the game with an outing of shorter than 6 innings in 10 of his last 15 April starts. Count 1-1. Former Yankee Phil Koch warming. Now, Phil Koch is their 5th starter, but there's off days in April and you skip over your 5th starter, so they'll use him out of the bullpen until he does start. With that double, Alex Rodriguez has now hit safely in 8 straight opening days. Verlander at the 100 pitch mark. Alex represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-3 game. His double, the 3rd hit of the game against Verlander. Russell Martin with a single. Teixeira with a 3-run home run. Both of those hits in the 3rd, and then Alex's double here in the 6th. Now, I wonder, Kenny, you said that he might have been able to get 3. I wonder if he broke it down thinking that that ball was out.
I think so, and one reason I mentioned 3 is because Austin Jackson had to double retrieve in center field. He chased it down one way and then had to chase it back the other way. Yeah, usually he thinks he looks in the dugout when he thinks it's a homer. About right here, maybe not.
That's something Alex can do, especially feeling as good as he does. That could have been a triple. If you're going to look into the dugout and style a bit, it's got to be sure that it's gone.
Well, it'd been nice to have him at third base with one out.
Yep. And with Cano at the plate, maybe you force the infield in at that point.
Of course you do. Look down.
So that's a walk to Cano. He's on for the first time.
You can see with the base open, Verlander all of a sudden got very careful with Robbie Cano.
So Rick Knapp, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk with Verlander. Swisher comes up to the plate. Yankees have back-to-back swish hitters here, Swisher and Posada, and so you really don't gain much bringing in the left-hander Koch. You have Granderson up a couple of batters from now. That's when you would bring in the lefty. Verlander electing not to go with the long sleeves here on a March day in New York City.
He pitches for the Tigers in Michigan, but then again, he's from Virginia.
So first and second with one man out, and here is Nick Swisher. And the count 1-0. Still throwing hard, Verlander. That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And he had the best average fastball of any starter in the American League last year at 95.3 miles per hour. And that's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. The best fastball in baseball last year, average-wise, was Neftali Feliz, the closer for the Rangers, at 96.3. Then Ubaldo Jimenez of the Rockies, 96. And then Verlander at 95.3. That's average fastball. 1-1. That's not a fastball. When you throw that pitch and you throw it for strikes and you've got that kind of fastball, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, but it's true. But in Feliz's case, usually he was only doing it for one inning.
Yes.
Jimenez and Verlander have to sustain that. If we look at Yes Mo, is this our first Yes Mo of the season? Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah, it is. And you can see Nick Swisher well out in front.
The 1-2 is not made as Alex scampers back to second. Two teams expecting to contend. The two best pitchers on their respective staffs going up against each other. 3-3 game, bottom of the sixth. Another breaking ball. Count 2-2.
Good check by Nick Swisher, not chasing a pitch in the dirt. That's a very tough pitch for a catcher to come up with. A breaking ball that's breaking in around the feet of a batter. Avila made the stop. Didn't come up with it cleanly, but made the stop.
Job is ready for sure. He's been throwing for a while. A-Rod's at second. Cano is at first. Strike three, and Nick Swisher cannot believe it. He thought it was outside, and he's having some words with the crew chief, Dale Scott.
Joe Girardi almost out of the dugout to protect his right fielder, keep him in the ball game. We'll get another look. There's movement on the fastballs. I'll tell you what, Swisher might have an argument here. Watch the glove, watch the pitch. Yeah, that did not catch the plate.
It caught the right-handed batter's box. That was way outside.
You know what? Every once in a while, you're going to get bad calls from the umpires, but you don't want them to happen in key situations in games when you're a hitter.
And with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Here's Posada. He is 0 for 2. Breaking ball is inside. 108 pitches for Verlander, and that's the highest pitch total ever in his first start of the season. That's what Jorge did last year. He's homered on the last 2 opening day games. And only 3 other Yankees have homered on 3 consecutive opening day games. Yogi Berra, Dave Winfield, and Danny Tartabull.
So Winfield, when he's in the ballpark today. And Yogi did it 4 times.
Count 2-1. And the pitch. Count 3-1. Missed with the change. And on deck is Curtis Granderson. This is probably Verlander's last batter. We told you that Koch is ready, the left-hander. So Verlander has Posada. And if he gets him, he's probably not coming out and pitching the 7th with his pitch count. So this is it.
This might be a pretty good pitch for Posada to hit, though. Verlander does not want to leave a bases loaded jam for somebody coming out of the pen with his runners on base.
Wow, went with a changeup on 3-1. Tough league.
You always have to be aware of the fastball when Verlander's on the mound, and that's what makes his changeup so effective. Looks like the heater coming out of the hand, but it doesn't quite get there.
Runners will go. 3-2, 2 outs. And they'll do it again.
Still throwing 96 miles an hour.
Well, I would think that any manager on opening day with his best pitcher on the mound is holding his breath. You want to win the game, but as Kenny said earlier about Sabathia, there's a big, long season ahead of you, 32 more starts, and you don't need to be extending anyone past their means at this point. And Verlander's at 113. And these are high-energy pitches.
Trying to get A-Rod Strang a little bit too far from the bag, but there was not an infield to cover it.
They have Posada shaded toward left field, batting from the left side against the hard-throwing right-hander. The left fielder Rayburn near the line, and Austin Jackson shaded toward left center. And in the infield, they shade the other way with the third baseman off the line and the shortstop up the middle. Runners go. Swung on and missed. Another change. Verlander pumps his fist as he pumps out Posada, and that will do it here in the 6th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 7th. We got a good one at the stadium on opening day. It's 3-3. tradition at Yankee Stadium this Saturday and Sunday. The Yankees take on the Tigers, and it's calendar weekend. All guests in attendance at either game are going to receive a 2011 Yankees calendar courtesy of Subway. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Well, Joe Girardi makes his first call to the bullpen of the year, and it's brought to you by AT&T, and that call to the bullpen brings in Jabba Chamberlain.
Numbers on Jabba from a year ago. He made 73 appearances, 3 and 4. Impressive numbers of the 77 strikeouts and 71 and 2/3 innings. And coming into spring training this year, throwing very well. Right out of the gate, throwing in the mid-90s.
Verlander pumped up after striking out Posada on 2 straight changeups. And his day is probably done. The first pitch to Austin Jackson, off speed. Breaking ball is high. On the Cadillac scoreboard, it's 3-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. Top of the Tiger order against Chamberlain. There's a fastball. The 2-0. There's a strike. The line on Sabathia is now complete. He went 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and he threw 106 pitches. Fastball right by Jackson, the count 2-2. Jabba's best work last year was in the 7th inning, where he held opponents to just a .211 batting average. Will Rhymes on deck. Austin Jackson at the plate, and the 2-strike pitch is a breaking ball, strike 3. Jackson struck out 3 times. Saturday starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead. Brad Penny is going to go for the Tigers against A.J. Burnett, and that game's going to be on Fox, but Yankee extra innings will immediately follow in the game right here on Yes. And our coverage on Sunday will start at noon with the BP show, so be here for that. Will Rhymes takes outside, 1-0. Nice slider there to Austin Jackson by Chamberlain.
He froze him.
So Jackson, who led the American League with 170 strikeouts last year, has 3 here on opening day. There's a strike to Rhymes.
Here's that breaking ball, that slider that Austin Jackson looked at, and he didn't believe it. He thought it was a little high. Ernie Harwell, the late great Hall of Fame Tiger broadcaster, would say he stood there like the house on the side of the road.
Strike, said the third base umpire Dan Iasonia.
Well, it's the second time today that Rhymes hasn't agreed with a call, and this time he has the backing of his manager. The second time today, he didn't swing. No rhyme or reason to this, he's thinking.
Two. He is a hooded menace right now. When he gets pacing and barking, that's a lot of baseball.
That's Rafael Belliard, the infield coach, going with the double hat today. Or would you call that a double header?
Three-two. Two other games going on in the big leagues. Atlanta leads Washington 2-0. That's in the bottom of the 8th inning. And in the bottom of the 3rd, Milwaukee leads the Reds 4-1 in Cincy. Lined into left field, boy. Gardner had him play beautifully for the second out.
on positioning by scouting reports on the hitters, and Gardner was right there. A couple of steps to his right, he put it away. And Rhymes is barking at the third base umpire. That's something you don't want to do as a young player as he leaves the field. Let your manager do it. Yeah, I'd be upset too. I don't know if I would say anything, but
Maglio Ordonez lofts one to right field. Swisher back, then in, and that will do it. So Jabba Chamberlain comes in and works a 1-2-3 7th inning. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, and the Yankees and the Tigers are tied at 3. But we will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps. Please now direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate. And welcome, from the cast of the Broadway show Rock of Ages, Michael Minerick. In honor of the servicemen and women stationed around the globe, he will now perform God Bless America.
I bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join in.
Tri-State Ford update as we take a look at some news and notes from around the majors. John Lester will start opening day for the Red Sox at Texas. Meantime, Manny Ramirez missed the final preseason game for the Rays for personal reasons. Jose Bautista, come on in. You're moving from right field to third base, or moving out to right field, excuse me. And then Neftali Feliz isn't going to be a starter. He will remain the Rangers closer. Also making news, by the way, Michael, the fact that I called Jason Hayward the National League Rookie of the Year earlier, it's actually Buster Posey edged him out. So I'm going to go get straightened out for the post game. And you and Kenny, just be a guiding light for me.
Now, I'm hearing great things about the post game with you and Jack and Kim. It's going to be off the charts.
It is going to be a completely different, exciting thing going on after the game. Well, kind of the same thing we always do, but You get insight from a guy covering the Yankees for 22 years, Jack Curry. Are you kidding me?
You know what I like about opening day? I mean, I like everything about opening day, but the fact that you're here in person and that we're not just talking to a TV screen, to me, that excites me.
It's exciting to see you as well. You got Ken Singleton alongside. Actually, now when I toss back to you, you're just inches away. It's great.
Well, thank you so much. We
All right,
will
guys.
wait for you on the postgame. That's Bob Lorenz. He and Kim Jones and Jack Curry will handle everything on the postgame show. And that's the W.D. Mason postgame show, and that's Phil Koch, the relief pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, on in relief of Justin Verlander to start at the bottom of the 7th. And here's Curtis Granderson.
Well, Jason Hayward, as Bob said, did finish second to Buster Posey, but this year the Braves have another candidate for Rookie of the Year. That's Freddie Freeman. On our Cadillac scoreboard is a 3-3 game at the bottom of the 7th. And he's the first baseman for the Braves. Look out. Lean back.
Now, this was a big part of the trade between the Yankees and the Tigers. Phil Koch ends up going to Detroit. So did Austin Jackson, and the Diamondbacks were involved as well. But the big guy back for the Yankees was Curtis Granderson. So now a 2-0 count, Koch to Granderson. That one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! A long home run off the bat of Granderson, and the Yankees lead 4-3. Well, Kenny, earlier we talked about how locked in he was at the end of last year and during spring training, and boy, that follows through right here.
Well, the Yankees are very happy that oblique strain wasn't worse than it was. Missed some time at the end of spring training. Played yesterday in a minor league game in Tampa. Back here today and hitting a home run that gives the Yankees the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. A no-doubter. I'll tell you what, it's good to lead off an inning in a tie game if you got some power. They don't want to walk you. They'll throw you a pitch just like that one, and it's up to you to do something with it.
Now, Phil Koch had a 13.50 ERA in 3 appearances against the Yankees last year. So he picks up where he left off, unfortunately for the Tigers. Again, 2-0. And the pitch to Russell Martin. 3-0.
That can't be a good feeling when the first guy you face in the season hits a home run.
Russell singled his first time up as a Yankee in the 3rd, came around to score. Also had a stolen base, and then had a fly ball to left. Taking all the way on 3-0, now 3-1. So with a lead, the Yankees get up their 8th inning guy, Rafael Soriano, one of the best closers in baseball last year, now the setup man for Mariano this year. And the count now 3-2. Grounded to 3rd. Inge in the dirt, and not handled there by Cabrera. So Martin will reach on the E5. Take another look at Curtis Granderson's swing, and we'll take a look at it with the Coors Light freeze cam. Let's freeze it on contact.
Oh, froze it right on the bat. You can see where it's headed. High and far and deep to right field. Great extension on the swing to follow through by Curtis Granderson. Notice the 2 hands on the bat. That's what he and Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, were working on all last year. And it has provided a power surge for Curtis Granderson at the end of last year and on opening day of this year. And you know, it's not only Curtis that has been thankful for his work with Kevin Long. It's Curtis's parents from Chicago. They extended a Thanksgiving invitation to Kevin Long.
Really?
Now, Kevin, of course, has his own family. He couldn't come. But, you know, he appreciated the fact they invited him for Thanksgiving dinner. at the Granderson household.
Another bunt attempt by Gardner. He fouls it off. So Kevin Long's wife, Marcy, said, no, you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here.
There's a big difference between Phoenix and Chicago in November.
Yeah, just a bit. Well, Granderson's home run now is his third straight opening day with a home run.
That's a streak.
Well, Gardner had a sac bunt in the third, and again, he fouled one back and then showed again on that pitch from Koch.
He's looking at Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, see if Joe Girardi has something else on his mind here. Even if he gets the sacrifice bunt down, the pressure is on the Tigers to make the play because Gardner's going to hustle. He's going to make it as difficult as possible.
And there's a bunt, and it's a beauty, fielded by Koch, fires to first, and they get Gardner. The sacrifice successful. You score at 1-4 as Martin moves to second.
That's what I was talking about. The pressure is on. He's going to get Martin to second base with the sacrifice, but they get him by barely a step as Phil Koch's throw is just in time to Rhymes for the out. Man, look at that speed.
Oh, the righty Derek Jeter due up, and you see how close it was. Jim Leyland is going to go to the bullpen. So Phil Koch departs, and Leyland calls on another reliever to face the Yankee captain. We'll be back. Partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Well, there's a couple ways to go here, and I'm going to go with Brett Gardner getting the bunt down to move Russell Martin to second base. That's a partner play. Give it up yourself for your partner. A sacrifice bunt by Brett Gardner moves the runner into scoring position.
So Russell Martin is at second with two men out. Derek Jeter steps to the plate. And Ryan Perry is a new Tiger pitcher. Let's see what he did last year, 3.59 ERA.
This young man has a very lively arm. Good fastball.
Derek's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The Tigers, if you don't count Koch, carry 7 guys in their bullpen. 2 lefties, Brad Thomas and Daniel Slareth, and 5 righties, Ryan Perry being one of them. Enrique Gonzalez, Joaquin Benoit, Brian Villarreal, and Jose Valverde.
The closer.
That one gets past Avila and goes to the backstop and moves Martin over to third.
Well, that didn't help things. It's going to force the Tigers to bring the infield in. Avila couldn't get over quick enough. That's a very wild pitch from Ryan Perry on his first breaking ball of the season.
So the Tigers do bring the infield in, runner at third with 1 out. Jeter 246 against righty pitchers last year, 321 against lefties. Count 2-1. Derek drove in 20 of 44 runners from third with less than 2 outs last year. That's 45%.
Usually in those situations, you want to be around 70. Those are the guys that are getting the job done. 7 out of 10.
Line drive, center field. Let's see if it gets the run in. Jackson makes the catch. Tagging is Martin. Here's the throw. Here's the play. Martin's in there. Yankees lead 5-3.
Well, we mentioned that Russell Martin has good speed for a catcher. He's already stolen base, has a stolen base in today's ball game. And that means Joe Girardi will usually not have to go to a pinch runner when his catcher gets aboard. Good throw by Austin Jackson. Couple of hops, but Russell Martin scores from third base.
So a sac fly for Jeter, the tag, the slide, and the score. Here's Teixeira. Count 1-0. Teixeira walked in the first. A 3-run home run into the second deck. Snaking around the right field foul pole in the third. And he grounded to second in the sixth. (5-3) Yankees lead. We keep telling you about the Yankee bullpen. And now they get to show it off. Jabba, 1-2-3 7th. Soriano will pitch the 8th, and then Mariano will pitch the 9th.
Meanwhile, in this inning, the Tiger bullpen has not done the job. Coe gave up the home run, then an error, a wild pitch, and a sac fly leads to another run.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees 2 runs in the 7th, breaking a 3-3 tie. And they're up 5-3. Line drive, but caught by Rhymes. Well, the Yankees broke the 3-3 tie when Curtis Granderson led off with a home run. He's had a big day in the first inning. The defense by Granderson. And here in the 7th, well, a long blast to give the Yankees the lead. They added another, up 5-3. Yes is brought to you in part by IOTV. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. By the Fox Business Network, the power to prosper. And by Mazda. Zoom. And in the 8th inning, we zoom in on Rafael Soriano. A crowd packed into the stadium watching as the newest Yankee deals to Miguel Cabrera. And the first pitch is off the strike zone, 1-0. What a year for the Tampa Bay Rays. 14 walks, 57 strikeouts, 62 in the 3rd innings, 45 saves, 1.73 ERA. Yankees signed him to a 3-year deal during the offseason as a free agent, and he will set up Mariano. And the Yankees are hoping that essentially that turns most of their games into 7-inning affairs, and they like their 7th inning pitcher as well.
They liked him today.
Yep. Tell us a little about what Soriano's about, Kenny.
Well, first of all, he's got pretty good control. As you saw, he doesn't walk many. Got a good, lively fastball, has some movement, and you saw an off-speed breaking ball that had Cabrera well out in front.
The 1-2.
There's a good slider down and away. Has an unusual way of getting ready to pitch and taking the sign. And last year, he led the American League in saves with 45.
The 2-2. Strike 3, and Cabrera down looking, and he's not enamored with the call. Hey fans, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Today's candidates are number 1, CC Sabathia, number 2, Justin Verlander, number 3, Mark Teixeira, number 4, Curtis Granderson. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates will apply.
A well-spotted fastball from Soriano to pick up the call, strike 3. And a good selling job by Russell Martin, too. Just moved the glove over a hair.
And the pitch to Victor Martinez, a strike. Let's see if it was a strike. Strike 3 on Cabrera. It was outside.
He got the Swisher treatment.
Yep. The 0-1. Now, one thing that Soriano doesn't do, he doesn't give up a lot of hits. In 60 innings in 2006, 60 innings, he gave up 44 hits. In 07, 72 innings, he gave up 47 hits. Now, in 08, injury-shortened year, 14 innings, 7 hits. 09, 75 and 2/3 innings, 53 hits. And last year, 62 and 1/3 innings, just 36 hits. Very deliberate on the mound. As Kenny said, kind of a funky way he sets up. Almost the way Mike Messina used to set up in the stretch. That bend and then straightening.
He's got to treat the 8th inning like he treated the 9th inning at Tampa Bay. This is his inning to close out a game. Although he won't get the credit. 45-27. 3-9 and 2. He wasn't working exclusively as a closer in those days.
The 2-2. Grounded to first. Teixeira. 2 away. Well, right now, if the game ends with the Yankees holding on to this lead, it'll be Jabba Chamberlain who picks up the win. Soriano will get the hold, and Mariano will end up getting the save. And Mariano will begin his preparations to pitch the 9th inning.
There's that familiar routine, stretching. Has he picked up the heavy ball yet?
He will soon. And the pitch to Rayburn. Count 1-0. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. When the Yankees missed out on signing Cliff Lee, rather than sit back and not spend the money to improve the team, the organization decided to spend that money on Soriano and spent closer money on a setup man in their hope to make the team better. High fly ball, center field. Granderson back. And he'll make the play on the warning track. And Soriano's first inning as a Yankee is 1-2-3. So far, the bullpen has been perfect. 6 up, 6 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Part by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, that's a good picture to get Mariano Rivera beginning to get loose in the Yankee bullpen. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees are up 5-3. And a crowd of 48,226 here at the stadium. It is a sellout, first game of the year. And Alex Rodriguez will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Perry deals low. Alex 1 for 3 with a walk. The 1 a double. Check that, he's 1 for 2 with a walk. A double in the 6th off the wall in right center field. 2-0 counts last year, a 338 hitter. That's what he has right now. And now it's a 3-0 count.
Well, 2-0, you can sit there and look for the fastball. Certainly zone up if you want to. Look for something on the inner third or something towards the middle of the plate. Hitters can become more aggressive. They can afford to take a strike if it's not to their liking.
So now it's 3-1. Foul back.
That was a good swing. And the way Alex turned away after swinging and fouling this one back. Will he throw it again? Just give me one more of these.
Three-2, and Rodriguez walks to start off the 8th. After the final out of this season opener, stick around for the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and the Yes team are here in the Bronx with a recap of all the events of opening day. Plus, Kimberly Jones gets the quotes and the reaction from the Yankees clubhouse. It's all later after the game, only on Yes. Jim Leland is going to bring in another left-hander as Robinson Cano will come to the plate. Yankees have a runner on first, nobody out, and we'll be back. This season opening series with the Tigers right here in the Bronx on Saturday. Turn back to Yes after the game on Fox for a full recap with Yankees extra innings presented by Tri-State Ford. And Sunday, we'll have complete coverage of Game 3 starting at noon with Audi batting practice today only on Yes. Daniel Schlereth, the left-hander, in for the Tigers, their 4th pitcher, and he is going to deal to Robinson Cano. In 2 Yankee Stadium appearances last year, Schlereth gave up 4 runs in an inning and a third for a 27 ERA. Overall, did a nice job. That one bounced, but grabbed there by Cabrera. Schlereth is the son of the former football player, now ESPN broadcaster, Mark Schlereth, whose nickname is Stink. Good guy, Mark Schlereth.
His son, though, was the #1 draft pick. Arizona Diamondbacks, and also pitched at the University of Arizona before moving on to the Tigers and working out of their bullpen. And these are the situations he will find himself in many times this year, facing a tough lefty hitter for Jim Leland and the Tigers.
Last year against left-handers, Cano hit .285, which is representative in 13 home runs.
Yeah, that's the big number, the 13 jacks out of the park.
And, you know, almost twice as many at-bats. He had 16 homers against righties and a .337 average. So you didn't really neutralize him power-wise. You didn't neutralize him at all when a lefty came in. You took a little bit off his average. Against Justin Verlander, Cano struck out in the first, struck out in the third, and then walked in the sixth.
We like to refer to these type of days so far as a no-contact day. Doesn't matter the combination of walks and strikeouts.
That one trickles by Alex Avila as Alex Rodriguez goes to second.
If this is the wild pitch, it'll be the third thrown by a Tiger pitcher today. And that was in the dirt. You know what? Let's see. If it bounces in the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Nah, that looks like a pass ball to me. Ooh. They scored it a wild pitch.
Jordan Spreckman, the official scorer, says wild pitch.
That looked a lot more stoppable than the other ones. And I don't think the ball actually hit the dirt before it hit his glove.
The 2-1. Schlereth didn't know where it was, and it goes right to second base, fielded there by Peralta. And Cano is down as A-Rod moves to third.
You know what? That looked like it was going to be easy play for the pitcher, but he didn't see it. And if he does come up with it, A-Rod's going to have to stay at second base. Now he's looking up, and the ball is downstairs instead of upstairs. Where is it?
Now the Tigers have to bring their infield in with a runner at third. They're down 5-3, and they know that Mariano is lurking, so they do not need to give up another run. Here's Nick Swisher. Nick 0 for 3 so far today. A fly ball to left and 2 strikeouts, one looking, one he didn't like. That was the 6th inning. And Schlereth deals 0-1. Wind blowing a bit more briskly in from left. Swisher was 40% in this situation last year. The 0-1. Popped up, right field. Coming on is Ordonez, and it's a fair ball. It drops in. Alex Rodriguez comes home, and they've got Swisher hung up. He's in a rundown. He heads to first. Is he going to beat out Cabrera? No, he does not. Cabrera tags him, but the run does score on the RBI single, and the Yankees lead 6-3.
Well, give Nick Swisher a run batted in here. This play is going to go 9-3, 6-3 on the putout as the Yankees pick up another run. Now, Magglio Ordonez does not have the speed that he once had in right field. He's going to get one out, but the Yankees are going to get a run. Swisher gets a run batted in, his first of the season.
And he says, my bad. Here's Posada. I'm wondering if he got caught going to second because he never thought that Ordonez would throw the ball home. He didn't have a chance to get Rodriguez, so he thought the ball was going to come to second. He was making a big turn.
He was thinking that, but Ordonez saw Cabrera, and that's who he was throwing the ball to. He wasn't throwing home. He saw Cabrera coming in behind Nick Swisher. See Cabrera? He's going to come back into the picture at first base, and now the race is on, which eventually Swisher's going to lose. But in the way he's a winner, he's filled that RBI column.
High fly ball, right field. Ordonez is there, and he'll put it away for the final out of the 8th. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. It's time for Mariano Rivera. Yankees lead by 3. They want to use it all year. It's going to be Soriano to Mariano. Soriano will pitch the 8th. Mariano Rivera will pitch the 9th. So far, the Yankee bullpen has been perfect. Jabba 1-2-3 in the 7th. Rafael Soriano, his first outing as a Yankee, 1-2-3 in the 8th. And then now Mariano Rivera will come on in the 9th. 61 games last year, 33 saves, 1.80 ERA, 11 walks, 45 strikeouts in 60 innings, 39 hits. So he gave up 50 base runners in 60 innings for a whip under 1. Comes into this with 559 saves lifetime, and the all-time leader is Trevor Hoffman, who's now retired with 601. Also, check this out. The key 3, Jeter, Rivera, and Posada, the first trio of teammates in Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, and NHL history to play 17 straight seasons together. Good stuff with that stat. And that goes back to 95, where they all had cups of coffee. So Johnny Peralta takes a first pitch strike.
Since then, their cups have run over.
Now, since 1912, Mariano Rivera's 2.23 ERA is the second lowest of pitchers with more than 1,000 innings pitched in that time. The other one is Eddie Seacott's 2.20. High fly ball, right field. Swisher, 1 out.
I think Eddie Seacott pitched for the White Sox back then, and he was involved in Black Sox scandal?
I believe so.
Yeah. I think he was the pitcher that was supposed to get a bonus from Charles Comiskey if he won 30 games that year, and he won 29, and he wouldn't give it to him.
It's not 30.
That's a pretty good year.
Here's Brandon Inge. Now Mariano, see the number on his back, 42? That's the number of postseason saves that he has. He has 18 in the ALDS, 13 in the ALCS, and 11 in the World Series, and a 0.71 ERA in postseason play. So the numbers just keep going on for Mo. He is defeated Father Time. He slapped around Mother Nature. He is really defying the odds to be this effective at this age and for this long. And I think Yankee fans of this era, when they grow up to be old men and women, could say that they watched the greatest closer of all time, because that's what he is, and I don't think there's anyone that would argue with you. Brandon Inge drives one to center field. Granderson back, still back, on the run, reaches up, and he makes the play! That'll cap off an outstanding day for Curtis Granderson. A great play in the first, a home run, and a great play here in the ninth.
Well, we told you he's playing a lot more shallow, but in order to be able to do that, you got to be able to go back on the ball. And Granderson gets a great jump on this ball. It's hit well by Inge. Stepping back, takes a look, got to go a little further, reaches out and makes the catch. Curtis Granderson. We saw him make a diving catch earlier in the game and the ball hit in front of him, and now reaching back over the shoulder to handle this one here in the top of the ninth inning.
Here's Alex Avila, and the count 1-0.
And there's Inge, who got his feelings hurt, and a salute from Mark Teixeira, and another one from the closer.
1-1. How safe is a 3-run lead with Rivera? He has not allowed more than 2 runs in an appearance since June 6th of 2009. Avila is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to center. Yankees are 1 strike away from an opening day win. A sellout crowd of 48,226 on hand. Mark Teixeira with a 2-run home run. Curtis Granderson with a solo shot. 6 strong innings by Sabathia. 2 2/3 to this point. Excellent, perfect innings by the Yankee bullpen. The 1-2 just stayed alive.
The crowd with a roar. They thought it was a swing and a miss, but Avila just got a piece of it.
Incredible how shallow Granderson is right now. Softball depth.
We could shake hands with him.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Ball game over, and the Yankees win 6-3. So the New York Yankees start the 2011 season in proper fashion, getting good pitching, clutch hitting. A little preview of the Bronx Bombers as well. A big day for Teixeira, an even bigger day for Granderson, and the Yankees win this one 6-3. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, the Land Rover drive of the game came in the 7th inning with the score tied at 3. Leading off the inning, Curtis Granderson. And the Yankees had to lead 4-3 on his first home run of the year. They wouldn't look back from there, going on to win by a score of 6-3.
And the Yankees have now tied a major league record. They have won 11 straight games that they've played on opening day at home. The last time they lost was in 1982 against the White Sox. We'll come back as Kimberly Jones will track down Curtis Granderson, the hero of today's game, as the Yankees celebrate a 6-3 win.